There are several wildfires. I was just talking to the ranger here. I mean, everything's on fire everywhere. Well, welcome friends to 2024. We're officially starting our 2024 camping season. We finally made it through all of 2023's content, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Friends and adventurers, welcome. We are headed to where, Rachel?
We're going to West Virginia.
And why are we going to West Virginia?
Because I love it.
Well, we've had good experiences just about everywhere we've gone in West Virginia. We have a whole playlist on the channel of West Virginia camping. And yes, this trip we are going to Lost River State Park, and in this episode tomorrow morning we're going to be taking you up to Cranny Crow Overlook, which is the staple, probably one of the best views in West Virginia. That's kind of our plan. We're just going to do a little bit of a short hike tomorrow and then a longer hike the next day, so be sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss any of this Lost River State Park adventure.
So we're going to Lost River Campground. This is not at the state park, it's a privately owned campground. There's full hookup, there's campground Wi-Fi. I don't remember how much it was a night, but it was probably like 40 or 42 a night. So like I think that's really affordable for a full hookup site at a private campground. So
we get a little nervous about private campgrounds, but this is pretty much the only option for camping in this area. And we're going to give you pretty much a full review of the campground in just a few episodes as well. I plan to walk around and show you all the amenities and stuff that's there. So
I will add, it's pet friendly as well. That's something that seems to be a topic of discussion a lot lately among RVers, is finding pet friendly places to stay. So
we travel with 2 dogs, so that's a very important thing for us. It is an extremely windy day today. We've got a brand new trailer. It's 35 feet, which is considerably longer than what we're used to. Despite the wind, our new weight distribution hitch is holding it pretty steady back there. It's nice to have a good towing experience and kind of calm the nerves as we're headed out for the first time since November. Friends, there are, I don't know if I'm capturing it in the footage, but there are several wildfires down here as we're driving down. What do you think, 4?
at least 4.
So this is in the spring right now, early March, and just a reminder for my fellow Pennsylvanians, you're not even allowed to have fires in the state forests right now in Pennsylvania. And this time of year in the east is extremely prone to wildfires because of all the leaf litter. It's really dry and it hasn't started to decompose yet. And so, you know, this is just a friendly service announcement basically saying in the spring, don't be doing anything silly as it relates to fires because you don't want to be the cause of stuff like this. And they say most of this stuff is caused by man being careless. So, well,
this would have to have been because natural forest fires begin usually with lightning strikes. We haven't had any storms, so, and that's contributing to the situation where it's dry. So this is somehow this was a man-made cause.
And with the wind today, it's jumping from one spot to the next. So that's why there's like 4 of them, because it started here, it moved there, and as the ashes keep falling, it's just going to keep jumping around. So it's a really big deal. 15 miles away from the campground. So we'll catch up with you there. It should still be light out when we get there, so we can maybe film ourselves setting up this time. We got a really nice site here so far. This is site 18. And like I said, this is full hookups. It's pretty level. We only had to get up on the levelers just a smidge. I mean, it wasn't much. Now, given where our sewer hookup on the rig is, way down there, we got all the 20 feet of hose out, and we just barely reach here. So I'm gonna get that hooked up now. You always want to make sure that your hoses and stuff reach before you unhook the truck, because that's going to be bad if they don't. So something new we've got going on is the Jackie Up, which totally removes the tongue jack. So we were able to open the tailgate while we were hitched up and get the dogs out first thing, which is important. We like to, as soon as we get somewhere, get them out, and while we're on the road, be able to get them out. So that's important. That's an extra step to set up the camper now, is to get the jack back on. But I don't think it's going to be incredibly difficult, although I am trying to do it with one hand here now. And then it's got a quick connect for the electric. Pretty straightforward. Now we just got to get all unhitched here. Rachel's putting the slide out here. You got to make sure everything is stabilized before you put your slide out. So the steps essentially are: make sure everything reaches where it's supposed to. We still haven't done water, but we're getting there. Stabilizers, and then the slide comes out, and you want to make sure that there's nothing that it could potentially hit. So you got to watch out for your electrical post and trees, things like that. But we're good.
Most everything stayed shut on the way, but the pantry door did not. But nothing came out because that's pushed up against this anyway. So.
And just check out the beautiful sky over that way. And I even have some better footage of the beautiful sky and the beautiful scenery around here, because now, if you look down here, we can get footage from up there. So, we're going to be taking this with us on the hike tomorrow. I have permission to fly the drone at Lost River State Park, so it's going to be awesome. Stick around for that. We're going to get some dinner. We're just reheating some soup on this cool evening here. We're going to eat that, and we're going to try to get to bed early so we can get up early and beat the rain on this hike. She really is not very good at scrambling eggs. She needs one of them ones you crank, and it's got like the 2 beaters on it.
I like eating scrambled eggs. I don't like making scrambled eggs.
Friends, it is cold this morning.
They're wide awake though.
The kids don't seem to mind. Outside it's 28 degrees. In here it's...
I thought it was like 50 or something.
Yeah, in here it's like 50 because we ran out of propane. What did you think? Around like 2 o'clock in the morning?
Probably 3.
It is warming up. We've got coffee on the stove. We've got some bacon. And I did think to bring a spare bottle of propane because I sort of figured at some point we'd run out, although I didn't think it'd be the first night we were here. I think the furnace and stuff in here does use an incredible amount with this camper being so big. It's not quite as efficient as what we're used to. But, alright, I gotta flip the bacon. We will see you on the trail here shortly. So friends, yesterday we talked about the wildfires and how important it is to not start wildfires. Well, little did we know that the wildfires are actually burning here in Lost River State Park, which is what I intended to show you. We intended to hike up to Cranny Crow and fly the drone and do all kind of cool stuff. Well, we can't do any of that. If you look here at the Lost River State Park map, we're here at the at the park office. Everywhere where I wanted to hike is over here, but for both today and tomorrow, and it's all burning currently, so we can't do it. Honestly, there's not a whole lot else of interest here, or at least that I've found or seen any sort of videos or any information on. So it kind of leaves me perplexed as to what to do and what to show you. But we're going to hike where we can. Hike where we're allowed, hike where it's open, and hike where it ain't burning. There's a sulfur spring, so we'll see if that's of any sort of interest. And this laurel trail, which probably later in the year will be pretty when things are blooming, but that's not now. So yeah, we're going to show you what we can show you. We're sorry that this happened, but it just kind of is what it is. Here at the park office, there is actually Wi-Fi available, which is cool, and a nice little gift shop, so maybe I'll show you some of that later. We're kind of starting off walking down the road from the park office. There's a recreation building here and a playground, and there's restrooms available here for you if you need that. But what caught my eyes kind of immediately is these huge white pines that you can just see towering over us. These are some big trees, friends. These have to be...
Oh, look at the pine cones. I haven't seen pine cones this big in ages.
I mean, these are some big pine cones from some big white pine trees. I would imagine those are, considered old growth or probably original to the area. I'm not really 100% certain about the forest here and its age and how it's been maintained, but these trees are just kind of all here by themselves, and they're huge. I do know that the CCC had an impact on this area and certain things like the overlook, but I haven't researched much into the cabins because obviously I wasn't planning on being over here. I do know these cabins are a little bit pricey, but they're the only option I think for overnight stays here. There might be tent camping, but definitely no RV park or anything like that. This is cabin number 2. I'm not sure about the other one, but sitting here in amongst these massive white pines, check this one out here. I mean, the setting here just probably can't be beat really in the world. So it's probably worth the price to stay here. And I would imagine that these cabins, of course, were probably built by the CCC. They look like some CCC era stuff. And so that's why I bring that up. Old stone fireplace and stuff. It'd be really cool to walk inside actually and see one. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of an unexpected treasure here with all these big trees. If you know me, you probably know I'm not generally good at making the best of a bad situation. It's just kind of my personality, but it's not a good thing, obviously. But in this particular instance, filming for the channel kind of allows me to see the beauty of things that I otherwise would miss or walk past. But also this situation here on this trail so far, I'm not even really sure which trail we're on, Cove Trail maybe, but it is a really special spot, really. Yeah, it's hard not to be kind of excited about what we're doing here. So we're going to keep on walking and see what we find here. We're just kind of improvising and doing the best we can. And friends, if you take a look on the ground here at all of this, I mean, this is prime wildfire stuff here. And all it takes is one hot ash or ember blowing in the wind, and it is windy, of course, and air stokes the fire. But it just takes one ember coming into an area like this, and then the whole area is on fire. You can feel it, it's dry, the air is dry, it's just kind of the spring. You would think moisture in the spring, but there's just so much left on the ground that can burn. So this stuff spreads quickly, friends, and it's a real problem once it starts. I don't know how well you can probably see it, but there's a nice little pavilion just located down there. We have suspicions that that might be the sulfur spring that we're taking you to. I have no real facts to base that on, but it just, to me, it looks like there's a spring under the pavilion. And I think this loop trail that we're doing should take us right down to there, so. Do you want to tell them anything about it?
I don't know anything about it other than this is the Lee Sulphur Spring and that's the Lee house over there. We can look for some signage and there's a nature center if we want to try to gain some knowledge.
It smells like when you're cleaning a flintlock rifle from like the sulfur and the black powder. It smells horrible. But as I suspected, friends, this is the Lee Sulphur Spring here under this pavilion. And we got the Lee house over here. I know nothing about the history of this, but you know, we'll see what we can find out, see if there's any sort of signs or anything here. It follows this beautiful stream through here. The Sulphur Spring Trail goes back that way, the way we came. You can either go up to the Cove Trail like we came down, or there's a ball field, I believe, up there. Pretty neat looking old pavilion though, over the spring, and yeah, like I said, it stinks. So I did read about this actually, and I just forgot some of the information that I read. But this Lee House Museum, which of course is not open right now, I'm not sure when it's open, but this is the house of Robert E. Lee's father, Light Horse Harry Lee, who was Robert E. Lee's father, and they stayed here in the summers. I guess a pre-Civil War situation, obviously. So it was built in 1800, so it predates the Civil War by 60 years. I mean, it's a neat old log cabin type of structure. I'm going to try to get some better shots of it here for you. I don't know, maybe put the drone up here since we ain't going to get to use it for anything else today. Might as well, right? So, friends, the situation here as far as the fires are concerned is really bad, actually. Everything that I wanted to do here is closed for the foreseeable future. So, essentially this trip may be a total bust at this point. We need to go get some propane. So we're going to Moorfield to get propane. And honestly, we gotta figure out something to do tomorrow. We may end up having to drive a considerable distance to do anything. And I was just talking to the ranger here. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of areas around here that's all in a state of emergency. Like everything's on fire everywhere. We've seen fires in the National Forest on our way down here. That is where one of the places we're going to look to for possible opportunities to do something tomorrow. But yeah, right now we're going to go get some propane and we're going to go back to the campground. I don't even know if we're going to be allowed to have a fire at the campground, I would assume.
I don't know.
I think there's some like county ordinances and stuff like it. You can't burn anything anywhere is kind of the gist of what I've been told. So
Wait right here, I gotta check.
I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't even know if like having a charcoal grill back at the campground is safe. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna get some propane and go from there. And I don't know what next episode's gonna be, but we're here in West Virginia, so got that going for us.
We'll figure something out. It'll be fine.
I'm probably gonna just end this episode here, friends. So stick around for next week to see where the trip takes us. It can only get better from here, or at least we think. Subscribe for something. See you next week.